First bite. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm showing y'all how I cook stovetop salmon. So let's jump straight into this video. Today I'm going to be cooking stovetop salmon with a side of mashed potatoes and a side of broccoli and mushrooms because I like mushrooms with my broccoli. And I got some cheddar cheese to add to my mashed potatoes, and this lemon is for the salmon. I'm going to start off by prepping. So I like to rinse my meat. There's a huge debate on if you're supposed to rinse your meat or not. I feel like you should rinse everything. They store them in preservatives and I don't want to really eat that. Rinsing off some of the preservatives, I don't feel like that's a bad thing. So the seasonings that I'm cooking with to make this dish are Old Bay seasoning, season all, garlic powder, onion powder, lemon pepper, and cayenne pepper. And you're also going to need some butter. Quick side note, I am in no way a nutritionist whatsoever. This is not a healthy spin on salmon and mashed potatoes and broccoli. I do use seasonings, I do use butter, I don't hold back. I eat like this in real life, so if you guys are looking for a healthy spin on salmon, this is not it. But it's delicious and extremely filling, so let's get back to the video. So I'm starting off with my mashed potatoes. I'm going to be taking 3 of these potatoes, peeling them, washing them, and then cutting them into cube size so that they'll boil faster. I'm also adding water to a pot to boil my potatoes in with some salt. After cutting all my potatoes, I am adding them to the salted water, and I'm going to be boiling them on high for about 15 to 20 minutes until they're fork tender. Moving on to my mushrooms and broccoli. I'm going to start off by rinsing off my mushrooms and then dicing them up and cutting off the end pieces. I'm adding about a tablespoon of butter to saute my mushrooms in over medium heat until they start to get tender, and then I'm seasoning these mushrooms with seasonal, lemon pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. Now moving on to the salmon, you're also going to want to use some minced garlic. That's what I put inside of the butter that I cooked the salmon in. After rinsing my salmon on both sides, I'm going to lay it on my chopping board and cut it in half with a really sharp knife. I personally don't like to eat the skin on salmon, so I'm flipping them over and removing the skin from the salmon with the knife before seasoning it on both sides. I'm also cutting up a lemon because I like to add lemon juice to the salmon while it's cooking, and I also like to garnish the salmon with lemon slices. Now for seasonings. In no particular order, I'm using a generous amount of Old Bay seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, and cayenne pepper to season both sides of my salmon. Now back to the stovetop. My mashed potatoes are boiled all the way through. I didn't use too much water, so I didn't have to drain my potatoes. I'm seasoning this with seasonal, onion powder, and garlic powder. I'm also adding a lot of butter because I like my potatoes to be buttery, about a cup of cheddar cheese, and also a splash of soy milk. My mushrooms have been simmering over medium-low heat and have gotten tender, so now I'm ready to add my broccoli to them. And I'm seasoning the broccoli with seasoned oil, onion powder, garlic powder, and lemon pepper. These are some of my favorite go-to seasonings. I love the flavor combination. I'm also adding about a teaspoon of butter and a splash of water to that to help the broccoli steam through. Now I'm mashing the potatoes together with the cheese and butter with a fork. It works just as fine as a potato masher. And then I'm moving on to the salmon. So for my salmon, I'm laying both pieces face down on a plain skillet that I've already heated up on my stove, and I'm cooking them for about 4 minutes on each side. I'm not adding any oil or butter whenever I first add my salmon because I like them to brown a little bit. Whenever I oil my pot, they get a little bit soggy, so I'm going to be adding my butter after I start to brown them. And I'm also adding the minced garlic to that butter sauce and squeezing that leftover lemon over my salmon, because once the lemon juice and the garlic cook into the butter and salmon, it's delicious, you guys, believe me. There you guys have it, how I make my stovetop salmon with cheesy mashed potatoes and broccoli and mushrooms. First, I'm going to pour myself some wine. Y'all, look how flaky this is. It's not dry at all. First bite, some salmon and some potatoes. These potatoes are rolling. It's so good, y'all. So that's all that I got for this cooking video. If y'all want to see more cooking videos on my channel, let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye, y'all.